Hello, and welcome in, my friends and fam. This is Sharon with Life with Sharon, and I have a little autoimmune testing update that I wanted to share with everybody. As everybody knows, I've been diagnosed with, it feels like, everything under the sun. My bad, sorry, I had to sneeze. And so that would be, psoriasis was first, and then came psoriatic arthritis, and then came chronic fatigue and fibromyalgia, and then let's see what else. And then it was rheumatoid arthritis, along with they came together, Sjogren's syndrome. So I mean, it's been fun, let me tell you. However, fast forwarding to today, which is September 17th, 2025, I am happy to report that I had some labs done yesterday. We're still waiting. I have to do apparently one more sedimentation rate test. I don't know, some kind of test like that. But all my other tests came back. I did them yesterday and they all came back. I was flabbergasted. So we did these tests in July of this year. Right before I got off of all of my autoimmune drugs, like the cyclosporine, or however you say that one, and the Humira injections, NSAIDs, and all this stuff for these problems, and to prepare for my wrist surgery that I had August 18th, and then I have the second wrist surgery that is scheduled for the 29th on the left hand. Anyways, so to my surprise and happiness, all of the down days I had about feeling like my diet was so restricted and this, that, and the other, all of the why am I doing this with supplements. Sometimes I'd go down a dark rabbit hole of depression with, what is all this hard work and mindfulness and frequencies and therapy and all this stuff? Like, what is it doing that is good for me today? And I am happy to tell you that for the first time probably ever in my whole lifetime, every single lab that was taken came back normal. And I was just like, what in the holy Jesus happened? I am so grateful, so thankful. And so I just want to throw out there a little bit of positivity for others who are struggling with any kind of autoimmune conditions, that it is possible with a lot of hard work and determination and the right tools to get through it. Now, that said, I'm obviously not cured in any way. I don't claim to be cured in any way, but I am going to be super excited to get this next blood test to get a final read on that. But I can tell you something which is very interesting to me. When I got rid of nightshades, that was the first thing I did months ago, was get rid of nightshades. And then it was dairy, and then it was gluten, and then it was certain meats, and then all of a sudden I started actually more recently going downhill health-wise, as far as just feeling instinctually very nutrient deficient. And so I started kind of just like asking my body, checking in with my body, and going, okay, what am I hungry for? What do I need? And that kind of changed some things. I can't drink regular milk. Still makes me too mucusy. I won't touch cheese. Cheese is so damn addicting, and high fat and high carb and just all the stuff that I don't actually really want. But I did get back on plain Greek yogurt and butter, organic butter. And since doing that over the last few days, I feel 100 times better, actually. So it's amazing what a couple things like adding back into my diet has really helped with. But yeah, I'm very, very excited. The last time I was on NSAIDs was for the first surgery, and only for like the first 2 or 3 days, I think that was. And that was a month ago. So I feel like I'm doing really good. I was diagnosed with, I'm just not gonna like say this correctly at all. I know it because I just learned about it actually, and then it was officially diagnosed yesterday. It's that Coschronditis or something like that. So basically I kept thinking I was waking up in the middle of the night with like extreme sharp shooting, clenching pains in my like bone chest area right above my heart and the side of my rib and behind my back, you know, like where you flex your muscles back there, and to the point where it got so bad that I can't even sleep, or I couldn't sleep on my left side, because I would, and it would just all of a sudden just start crushing and suffocating and hurting, and it just really sucked for sleep. And so that said, he's like, oh, you have this, whatever I just said, the Coschronditis or something like that. Basically, it's inflammation of the cartilage, the tendon area or whatever. It could be arthritic, but my primary thinks that it is actually related to this Sjogren's syndrome, because Sjogren's, if you are familiar with Sjogren's, it's a drying out aspect, and so like dries out your sinuses in your mouth and your throat. It affects your teeth. It actually affects your eyes, your brain, other organs that are called wet organs, you know, all the glands, wet glands. And he said that goes internal too. So our lungs have, you know, liquid fluid and stuff inside, but also outside in between the cartilage and tendons and all that. And if it's dry, which Sjogren's does, it dries everything out. It can cause pain, because then things are just kind of like grinding against each other or sticking and stuff. So it was nice to find out that I wasn't actually having like little heart attacks in the middle of the night, which I was getting like concerned about. But I will be finding something to help with bringing, you know, moisture back into my glands somehow, some way. I have faith. You know, I'm just so grateful that God, which is my higher power, and the universe has equipped me with the ability to help heal myself. You know, as a human, I have to do the work, the hard work, you know, the mental health part of it, the social aspect of it, the emotional aspect of it, the physical, the diet, everything. It's everything collectively. If you have an autoimmune condition, if you don't have an autoimmune condition, I highly suggest that you put into practice taking care of yourself and doing the hard work anyways, so you don't get sick in the first place. But anyways, yeah, I feel really blessed today that my labs were all normal, and I couldn't believe that. So in July it said that RA was normal, like I didn't have RA, and then that little marker came back 1 point better this time without biologics. Isn't that crazy? So speaking of biological immunosuppressant therapy drugs, I have been writing out, it's going to take a while because there's a lot to it and I want to be thorough with it, the little mini series on all of the medications over the last 17, 18, whatever many years, and my experience with each one of those, what it's done, what was helpful, what was harmful. And that mini series will be coming at some point down the road. But anyways, thanks for letting me ramble. If anybody has any positive things to say about their own bodies, their own health, their own ways that they have fixed something or stumbled across something, and they want to share it with anybody in the comments, please do, because we are a healthy community here, and we are trying to help people to understand that they have the power within themselves to heal, like to truly be able to heal over time if they're patient, you know, instead of relying on pharmaceuticals, which will keep you stuck and sick. Yeah, so with that, I hope everybody has a great and wonderful day. Mwah! Much love and respect. Bye.